Hey everyone, OC Outdoorsman here. Well, we're now in week 2 without my kayak, and boy, does it feel a lot longer than that. So today I am at Irvine Lake with my friend Dave here, and we're going to be targeting carp this morning. So there's Dave getting ready to cast out a line. It's around 8 a.m. and it's already around 80 degrees. It's going to be a hot one today. It'll be in the triple digits later in the afternoon, so Dave's getting ready there by putting up his colorful umbrella there. Morning started off pretty slow. I didn't get my first strike here until close to 10 a.m. But unfortunately, this fish swam into some branches and I just ended up pulling the hook right out of his mouth. By noon, the wind started to pick up, and as you can see, it picked up Dave's umbrella and blew it right into the lake. So here's Dave casting out a line to try to retrieve it. It's not very deep, but he didn't want to walk out there, so here he just snagged the umbrella and he's reeling it in. This just wasn't Dave's day. This is probably the biggest thing he caught on his rod and reel all day long. As I'd mentioned before, one of the things I like most about lake fishing is the ability to just kick back and enjoy a cigar while you're waiting to catch fish. By now it's well after 1 p.m. and I finally hook into a decent carp, and he's just pulling the line. And it's really fun to catch these fish. They're great fighters. Let's take a better look at this fish. I only wish I had a scale. He had to be at least 5 or 6 pounds. They're so fun to catch, but it's time to release them. So here's the bait that I'm using. Just the previous night I put together this mix of panko breadcrumbs, sweet corn, and Starburst flavored jello. There are different types of rigs that you can use for this bait. As you can see, I just have a piece of artificial corn on a circle hook, a number 4 circle hook. And then you put the dough bait, you surround the corn with the dough bait, like so. And I have about an 18-inch leader from the sliding egg sinker that you see there to the hook. And you just cast this out. Another way is to use a bait chamber, and so I have 2 rigs set up, and this is one of them. I cast that one out about 25 yards and it gets slammed. As you can see here, I'm reeling him in. And there's Dave about to net the fish for me. Here's a better look at this fish. He's got a little bit of mud on him. This was actually the 3rd of the day. The second fish I caught was the biggest. It was close to 12 pounds. I thought my camera was on, but the whole time it was off, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But again, this is a decent fish, and I ended up letting him go as well. Now, this was a bonus catch, the surprise of the day. Remember, I'm using dough bait with just a single piece of corn on a circle hook, and I land this really nice largemouth bass. Take a look at this guy. If you're curious about my gear, I'm using an Abu Garcia villain rod, and mounted to it is a Lexa 300 bait casting reel. I do have it spooled with 20-pound tests because the fish here, the carp can get pretty big, so you want to make sure you have 20-pound tests, something strong enough to handle hard fighting fish like this. As you can see, if you're using dough bait, your gear can get pretty messy, so just want to caution you there. Now it's time for the long walk back to the parking lot. Now keep in mind it's now 103 degrees. It was a very hot day, and as you can see Dave behind me there, I was starting to worry about him. He didn't look too great. He was sweating profusely and we had a long hike ahead. Fortunately, we were able to flag down a lake staff member who was kind enough to give Dave a lift back on his golf cart there, saving him the arduous trip in this 103 degree heat. And finally, I make it back to the parking lot, and there's Dave. He looks a lot better now that he's been in the shade, but it was a great day of fishing. We'll just have to come back when it's a little bit cooler. Hey, thanks again for watching, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.